Three wide receivers again. Keller, straight drop. The in pattern has a receiver. And a completion to Samuel Santiago. Hit one. Unbelievable. 27 years ago. Well, statistician Gary Miller, we kind of were curious about the last third down and short call by McCaskey. We'll see what they do here on third and about a foot. And a busted play. And I'm not sure. That time Keller turned the wrong way because both backs went the other direction. Well, Keller either turned the wrong way or the right way, and the backs went in the wrong direction. The fact of the matter is, it was a broken play, and probably will force McCaskey to kick here and give York High one more opportunity with 2:25 to go in the second quarter. Well, the law of averages says Keller went the wrong way because both backs went the opposite way, so we're going to figure 2 against 1 that Keller made a mistake there. McCaskey in punt formation at the 35 is Roscoe and Sweeney. Keller with a short kick, and Sweeney picks it up on the dead run and crosses the midfield stripe down to about the 48. Really tough. Martin does here with just a minute 55 on the clock. Roscoe down near the 40, a pickup of close to 9 yards. Oh, great stats here tonight, Craig. Sometimes you get lucky. Second and short. The pitch to Sweeney. Boy, a lot of running room. And Sweeney still on his feet inside of the 30. That's going to stop. Actually gained about 8 or 10 yards before he even met the first Lancaster defender. To the left. Roscoe tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bearcats with second down, which is not really the important stat now. They need about 25 yards for a touchdown. The pitch and flags down as Roscoe is brought down as well. So down to 1:12. The clock starts. The York High Bearcats at the 30. Pitch to Sweeney. Davis gets a good block. Sweeney cuts it back into the middle. Kinston County. Left side, running room, Roscoe, and he's going to go for a York High touchdown. Play designed to go to the left, Craig. Roscoe read it. I think actually McCaskey almost over-pursued and Roscoe cut it back. Absolutely a great grip. And you know what? We're only into the end of the first half, but I will say this. If David Brown is one of the best kept secrets in Central Pennsylvania running back, so is Jason Roscoe. Absolutely, I agree. I tell you, it's quite a three-pronged attack in that backfield with Davis, Sweeney, and Roscoe. And probably the best thing about that, Craig, is that junior quarterback Shamar Mosley basically just has to handle the ball. You think for those guys. Handle it without fumbling, right. And York High converts on the 2-point attempt. So it's just 24 seconds remaining. York High extends its lead to 27-6. I think that is such a critical score for them. Absolutely. I think they responded to the McCaskey score. They came right back up the field. They overcame some penalties. Right. That is all positive stuff for a young team. So Roscoe having an incredible first half in terms of his ability to cut. Well, with the score 27-6, the York High band right in front of us. 10 carries for Roscoe tonight, 97 yards, so he's just shy of the century mark. And we're not quite at halftime. And has shown tremendous ability to elude tackles, quick tackles. And once he gets to the open field, turn it on and go past people as well. So that is, I agree, Craig, that's a huge score for York High. And I'll tell you what, you look out of the field right now on the Lancaster McCaskey side, and that was demoralizing. It was for them.
Hands on hips, really solid. If you take a look at our Denver Dodge scoring drive.
5 plays, 49 yards, a minute and a half off the clock, and Jason Roscoe had 24 yards to his total and another touchdown. The Bearcats convert the 2-point attempt this time, and it's 27-6. The only thing that you can really look at as a major negative in this first half for York High are the penalties.
Clean those up,
yeah,
and you really have something. Conversely, I'm telling you, Scott Feldman will get those blocking assignments altered at halftime to try to get this offense in gear for the Red Tornado.
Dennis Shockley returns the kickoff out close to the 40. With 18 seconds remaining. As we said, stay with us at halftime. The Red Tornado Marching Band will join us on our halftime show. And as always, the excellent statistics by Dr. Gary Miller and Dr. Paul Goodemote. They graduated, huh? PHSs, Doctors of Statistics. Where would we be without the numbers from those two guys? We'd just be two lonely guys in the booth. I'd shudder to think. Oh, we'll see if Keller tries to put it in the air. He does so. Play action. Has some time. Throwing deep for Shockley. Has him. Inside of the 30. Same play they scored on Chris Buff. Right. He just didn't have the block this time. And with 9 seconds to go. Hey, stay tuned. Right. Funnier things have happened. The mark is the 25. I guess the question now is, does McCaskey yet? I see Mark Keller asking for a timeout. I think if our stats are correct, there should be one timeout remaining for Lancaster. And what's been successful for McCaskey when Keller gets the time is the crossing pattern. Well, he handles the ball nicely, and that tailback is set very deep. He goes back as if he's going to handle the ball handoff and then rolls to his left and makes that throw. This is where you do not want to leave down as a defense because the score right before halftime, you got this team down now, 21 points. They score, whether they kick or go for the 2-pointer, they're back in the ball game mentally and believe that they have a whole half to go. So very critical 9 seconds in this first half right now for this young Bearcat team. Now we'll see what Scott Feldman has up his sleeve. 9 seconds remaining. The spot is the 25. 3 wide receivers to the near side. And watch the guy in the middle, number 83, Chris Wilson. Keller. Some time running out of it now, and it's finally brought down. And the clock runs out on the first half of action. And I'll tell you what, the clock did not run out on the first half. I think there's 1 second at least, and maybe 2. Right. I looked up at the clock as soon as he was down, and it was at 2 seconds. York High. So you can argue 2 or 1, but I think there's at least 1 play. I think they're putting 2 back up there, and York High conveniently trying to get off the field really. That's an excellent very move. Quickly. Absolutely. Yeah. But they are going to put 2 seconds back on the clock. So now you're probably going to see a prevent defense. Right, that last time there were trips right. They played them all man-to-man, but again, pressure up the middle. Yeah. I mean, Keller's struggling when he just drops straight back. Right. Not only did the defensive line make the penetration, but they got their hands up as well. So now this is out of 6 quarters this year, Craig. This is the 3rd quarter that we've had a play run after time has expired. That may be a new WSBC record. Maybe. So they're going to run it down to 2 seconds. And barring penalty, it should be our last play of the first half. Let's see if the York High defensive line and defense can make one more play. Number 5, Raheem Howard. Number 54, Ronald Simpson. And right on down the line, 19, Darnell Jackson. Again, a sophomore. He's a defensive end. 6'3", 159.
44 is in there, Tamar Scott. So a nice mix of experience and youth for that York High line. And I apologize if I missed one. Well, let's throw number, where they're playing it, but number 28 in there, James Jackson, who, good to see him back on the field, Chris, after getting his bell rung earlier.
Whenever you see the knee in the helmet like that, it can be a scary thing, that's for sure. So here come the three wide receivers out this way again. Keller looking and hit just as he throws it. It's incomplete. And that will bring us to the end of the first half of action. The York High Bearcats, extremely impressive thus far through the first half of action tonight. They lead, maintain this pace. Good kick this time by Simpson. At 10 is Brown. Trying to get to the outside. Look out! And there goes Dave Brown down the sideline. One guy to beat, and finally caught on the angle by Kelvin Harrison. But I thought for a moment, Craig, that Dave Brown was going to go 90 yards the other way.
Absolutely, positively what a coach wants coming out of the locker room. You're going to get the ball to start the second half. You've got to make a big impact play. You don't have to score on it, but Brown really, and this is one of the better kickoffs of the night for York High. Nice and high, nice and deep. Watch Dave Brown signal for his wedge to take off. He says, go guys, and then he comes into the wedge and then breaks out to the right, and then it becomes a foot race between him and the Bearcats.
And right at the middle is Hector Rodriguez, number 25, and a good gain on first down. And I really think that McCaskey's going to come into the second half with just a different mindset offensively.
I have a feeling two things occurred at halftime. I think Scott Feldman probably gave him a bit of an emotional kick in the pants, but more importantly, I think he probably got his staff together to get the blocking assignments down on offense, because that's what really hurt them throughout that first half. Way too much penetration by the Bearcat defensive line.
Second down and 5. Long count. I think York High ends up with the football. They do. And I'll tell you, Craig, the snap from the center wasn't good at all. And I think, quite frankly, let's get a look at it again, but I'm not sure that the York High player didn't almost get this snap. You see, it was slow coming back, and then wasn't handled cleanly at all, and that looked like a center error because the offensive line appeared to move in unison. The quarterback moved his hands as if he was expecting it. It never came, and wow, just when they get a big emotional lift and get a good run on first down, boom, they implode. Ronald Simpson was in there quickly, and Tyson Sweeney, the running back for York High on the defensive side, picked up the fumble. The pitch to Sweeney. Cuts it back, going the opposite direction. Look out, some running room. And Sweeney,
look at the picture. Sweeney ran pylons off summer. I mean, he cuts right, left. He cuts on a dime, gives a 9-cent change. I mean, he is everywhere.
He picked up 11 and he ran about 30 on that play, Craig.
He is very impressive.
Here you go. Start to the left. Now let's go to the right.
To the right. Now let's come back.
I thought right there he could go down the sideline.
Yeah, I thought he was going to stay to the outside. Yeah. Maybe when he, reevaluates the play, he'll see it differently. But easy for us to call that. He's right in the middle of things.
And straight up the middle. That time York High in the I formation. And I don't think anything has changed as that was Kelvin Harrison in the fact that York High is winning that battle right at the line of scrimmage.
That has been the tale of this football game. From the very first series, it appears as though the York High kids have dominated the line of scrimmage.
I wonder if any coaches ever come up with something like maybe games are won in the trenches.
Oh, you ever heard of that? Good, I think. Clever.
Not much room that time for the Bearcats.
We know the backs are picking up these big numbers tonight, Chris, but they could not do it without the really outstanding play of the offensive line of York High. We've said quite a bit about the defensive line. You might want to acknowledge some of those big uglies up front.
56 is Shane Wilson, just a sophomore. Listen to this. 55, Mike Day. That's a ninth grader on that offensive line. So some young guys up there.
We talked about Fuentes, the sophomore.
Right.
So, man, oh, man.
Steve Miller, another offensive lineman, number 59, doing the job up there. Mosley throws and incomplete. Intended for Raheem Howard. And Howard more or less knocked it away from the defender, but York High certainly in it. A penalty against the Bearcats. Certainly York High does not look comfortable in the passing situation. And that time, decision time, I guess, for McCaskey, and they're going to do
Illegal motion on the offense, decline, fourth down. Well, the receiver became a defender that time, I think, because the receiver stopped in running his pattern. He
Right.
could have really ran that out and maybe had a little bit better opportunity to become the receiver.
Harrison back in punt formation. A lot of high short kicks so far for York High. And this one a little more of the same, little better kick, handled at the 25. One or two missed tackles, but overall pretty good coverage by York High. Kick handled by number 2 Samuel Santiago, and Santiago brought down at the 27.
Tonight's action is being brought to you in part by Footstop. Footstop is your downtown store for first quality, brand name athletic footwear and sports apparel. We carry Reebok, Nike, and now feature Timberland boots. Footstop is located on the corner of South George Street and West College Avenue. Parking is free. Stop by Footstop and check out our excellent prices. That's a nice looking building. I don't know if you've seen that.
Did a lot of rehab.
We rehabbed it and good products. So stop by and thank the folks at Footstop for sponsoring in part tonight's ball game.
Great drop. Looking for Santiago and off his